Alright, welcome back to the rest of the story. I don't know if you guys can hear the 4640 rumbling. It's been a long night. It's been a long work day. I started doing this chisel plowing about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and it is currently 3 o'clock the next day. And I haven't stopped for other than fuel, which I've had to fuel up 3 times now, and a little bit of food. Other than that, I'm pretty much doing what I do best. That's trying to keep the wheels moving, because today is Saturday, and hopefully, maybe possibly, the imaginary moving number for maybe trying to put some seed in the ground is currently sitting at next weekend. But we also have to work in, where am I at right now? Somewhere in the 130 to, let's just go with 150 acres of ground to chisel plow yet, which I just knocked out 100 acres of probably our worst running. I mean, the problem with my place is that the 40 and the straight back piece, the straight back isn't quite so bad because it's got those long stretches you can just knock out acres, but the 40 took me 9 hours to do, averaging 6.5 acres an hour approximately. But the problem is that it just, it doesn't seem like you're getting anywhere because they're triangle pieces, so you're working up the hill or down the hill, so your next pass is either ahead or behind, usually ahead when it's a pain, to get started on your next pass. So when you're coming out of one pass, you have to pull that much farther ahead into the headland and then get lined back up and get spun back around, which after doing it for 9 hours gets kind of old. So, and on that note, I guess we won't do any headlands. We'll just do the main body of the field first. People kind of get bent out of shape when I do the headlands first. I don't do it for everything. I just got into the habit of I like doing the headlands, so that way, this year in particular, if you got any ditches, which everybody has ditches, nobody's proud of them, I guarantee you that, and it allows you to kind of work the ditches in and your headlands first, and then I like to drive out into the headland with whatever pass I'm making with the chisel plow. I like pulling out into the headland that much farther after I've already straightened out any ditches or anything. I've been doing that a lot more this year. I got 5 acres right here and 8 acres back behind my house yet, and my place will be done, and then we got 2 farms of varying acres that come out to approximately 120 acres left to chisel, and I'm trying to knock it out as fast as I can because this is our chiseling tractor. I don't know where you guys are currently at or where Ryan's currently at posting videos on how farms work, but we have 3 of the 4 of our tractors up and running. 7600 is pulling that drill. Dad he's kind of going back and forth. He was working ground up with the 82 and the Earthmaster there. He's over there somewhere with the 82. He's working in waterways and the field roads so we can get that seeded down. And I've been running this. I've been in here for a little over a day now, and I'm probably going to run until about midnight. I don't want to completely drain myself. Probably go home, get some sleep, get up early in the morning, and go out and start the closest farm. Probably on a fresh start early in the morning. I don't know if I'll get it done. It's just in 2 separate fields. So And that's the thing that's really knocking me back is, you just saw me. I had a little waterway or a little ditch that I went through and just straightened out, and that takes up a lot of time. So yeah, I'm glad to see tillage is getting done. At least it doesn't feel like we're rushing to do everything in like 2 days. They're calling for no rain today or tomorrow. I don't know what they're saying after that. I really don't care at this point. I'll just take the decent weather that I can get. So hopefully we'll be done seeding sometime this week. But that's just it though. That's the problem. I had to get stuff chiseled down so they could get stuff seeded. That's what Dad is already starting to work down, is the stuff that I had chiseled last night. And believe it or not, the stuff doesn't chisel too bad, but once you break open that surface and expose the dirt underneath, it's wet, it's muddy to a certain degree. Not exactly crazy about doing this, but the surface is dry. It's not like we're purely just running in mud. And it really is to the point where you just got to break it up so it'll dry out. I mean, the stuff that I first worked up last night is right over there, and Dad made a pass around it. You can tell that it wants to work up, but it's still got enough moisture in it yet that it just doesn't want to do a good enough job. So we're going to let it sit for a couple days and focus on some other things. I got calf number 3 that I haven't seen yet, but let's just go ahead and say you guys have actually seen her. She's on Instagram. Ryan took a picture of her. I guess I didn't know it was a heifer, but she's got a little bit of a different color to her, so there's a little bit of a razzle dazzle going on with the herd right now. But she's my first heifer calf. For anybody that actually cares, I probably will keep her as long as she isn't just a complete knothead. I mean, they can get kind of stupid on you too, and then it's just, no, you're gone. But right now, as far as keeping heifers back, as long as it has 4 legs and a heartbeat, and it can produce calves, it's got a place around here for the time being. I don't think feed is going to be an issue. Although grass is really taking its time to get growing, because it's cold. It started out really warm there, and it was acting like it was actually going to do something, and we got that cold spell. It's just now starting to warm up. But you can definitely tell the grass is stunted a little bit. A little bit of pasture and grass access the cows have. All the cows have. They got it grubbed right down. They don't want the hay we feed them anymore. The second that grass starts turning green, they couldn't care less about you. They want that nice green fresh grass. Can't say I really blame them. So I'm using the ag leader monitor. Just talking to Dad about it, how nice this thing makes it to work late, and definitely reduces fatigue on the operator, because like right now, tractor's doing its thing. We're doing straight passes back and forth. I'm able to skip my passes, so I'm not wrenching around, hitting the brakes, beating on the tractor, trying to get lined up right along with my last pass, so I'm not guessing rows or guessing passes, and then you have overlap and underlap and a waste of time and a waste of fuel, a waste of energy and wear and tear in equipment that doesn't need to happen. I'm a hypocrite. I was dead set against any kind of on-track, or not on-track, just guidance, whatever, but it's won me over because it allowed me to work all night last night, especially in the strips or the fields I was in. Had nice long straight back and forth passes on them, and just letting the on-track work, keeping an eye on the chisel plow, because it did give me some problems yesterday. The shovels are shot. I mean, a little sooner than I like them to be. I was hoping to at least get this year out of them yet, and we will. We definitely will. I lost the shovel. The plow bolt heads have worn down to the point where they're no longer effective, so when you hit dirt, you drop that down to the ground, and that jolt on the point of the shovel actually pops the heads off, and you lose the shovel. I lost one. I ran up to the local equipment store, which, you know, Lancaster, 10 minutes. Bought 2 spare shovels because, you know, that's how luck goes. Well, in the process of replacing the old one that I lost, I went out to start running again, and I found the original one I lost. So I, you know, kept that in the tractor. Well, then I made about 2 rounds on the long strips. I mean, the chances of me finding that are pretty slim. And I lost another one. Well, I've come to the conclusion at that point that it was going to be an existing problem, persisting problem. So at that point, negotiations have broken down. I was back up at the farm because I needed the torch to torch off the old bolts because I couldn't hold them even with the vice grip to get them off. So then I got a bright idea. It's already on. Got a welder. These shovels are shot. The bolts are shot. Even when I'm flipping the shovels over, I always torch the bolts off. I torch the burrs off, and I get new hardware, usually because they're shot by then. Well, that's exactly what I did. I went up along all the plow bolts and all the shovels, all 9 of them, and I put a bead of weld right up the center of them. And you know what? That weld is holding pretty awesome because I haven't lost a shovel since. And it's allowed me to pretty much run non-stop. I know everybody wants to see us put seed in the ground, but trying to take as much advantage as we can to getting as much of this pre-planting work done as we can, because once you get the fields planted, you guys see some of these trees coming up in the fence row, they gotta go. They're still small enough I can just knock them off quick and hit them with some Tordon. You let those go for another year or 2, and those are going to be a problem. And this is actually still a pasture field. It still has a fence around it. It's probably going to, almost certainly going to end up with cattle in it again. It's just a matter of when. The cattle numbers are rocketing up, especially now that the cows are calving. Dad, his cows are really starting to calve. He had 2 a week ago, and then I looked out and there was 4, and then the next day I looked out and there was 7. So that, I guess the bull was just really working that week. So I'm gonna keep working. Yeah, we got there's at least 2, probably safely 3 days of chiseling to do yet. It really depends on how hard we can run at it, because there's a little bit of bulldozing up the home farm we got to do yet. Not bulldozing, but the bulldozing that they had done up across the field, pushing that dirt that was in the bottom of the waterway up across the field again. We're going to go through and hit that with the chisel. And we should be done with this within the week. So we had to wait around a little bit for some decent running. I would have liked to be running the first part of last week, but it just didn't happen. So, voice start to break. Thanks for watching the rest of the story. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.